Welcome back, Redeemers. My name is Keith.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Curtis.
And this is Redemption Reacts. So today we have TAEMIN, Press Your Number. Not familiar with this one, oddly enough.
Yeah, shout out to Ellie and a couple of other people. I should have really wrote down everybody's name. After we did the Kai video and we did the Lay video, they kept talking about this. They made it seem like this was another film situation.
Okay.
Where it's a series of different things. If that's what it is, I'm really, kind of hyped to hear. If this is just the MV, then this is just the MV. But that's how they made it seem. They made it seem like this was
the same
his
type
version of Kai's joint.
It is SM.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So yeah, I'm good,
But
bro.
I
I'm
need
ready
delay.
to hear this shit.
Let's see what we got.
16.
Got her.
Love Dutch angles.
Shit. That composition was crazy. His face was on the other side too. I like this vibe. I like this vibe.
Nice and suspenseful.
Wait a minute.
No, not TAEMIN with the blicky. TAEMIN broke my heart.
I thought he was feeling shorty for a minute or something.
This dude stay banging out, bro.
Okay, clearly this is the same thing, man. Shit.
You hear that in the background? That bass.
Picked up and left the bitch.
Oh girl
Prisoner of the Moment. That might be a top 3 Taemin track. With the MV and everything included. Let me like preference that. Bro, I thought I just watched like a little mini movie.
I feel like I did.
This was kind of low key like a little mini movie, and I appreciated it. Also, I appreciate that. Well, I don't want to say appreciate. This felt like this could have been anywhere. Mm-hmm. This didn't just feel like this was SK. This could have honestly been shot in Europe, in America. Like
Cali,
this
looked like a shot in Cali.
Yeah, it was so
You got the reservoir,
not ambiguously diverse. I don't know if this is the right term. Ambiguously diverse.
There were many different types of.
Yeah, it was
here.
so, and I love that. Like it's just I love inclusion with everything, and it also adds complexity because I don't want to say used to just seeing like South Koreans in South Korean things, but anytime any other ethnicity like is kind of thrown in the mix, I like that a lot. This was dope though, man. I felt like Taemin was a fucking criminal here. Like, I seen the idea that they had for this.
Little sneaky.
Someone gave him good advice.
Good advice. Make that move.
Hey. Yeah, he definitely had his tiger inside and it jumped out.
Pulled out the blicky and screamed danger.
Yeah. This was good, man. Shit, I felt like he pointed the gun at me. I'm not used to Taemin on this type time. Even in Criminal, I didn't get this vibe. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, ironically. Picked the wrong video to make a criminal in.
Right. Someone mixed up the papers.
He was like, oh shit, wrong storyboard. But I don't know. I don't know, Keith. I just like that Weekend meets like it's just ironically with the car crash and everything too. Like
I tell you, this dude can't drive.
Banging
bro.
out. He banged out in the vice as well. It's a good sound. I feel like I can't even explain like why I'm hype about this. Everything just seemed executed well. Let me put it like that. Everything seems executed at an elite level. Like with the storytelling and everything. Kurt, I know you're looking at the lyrics. Are the lyrics indicating anywhere at all about like a dark side or like you like corruption or?
For what I'm getting right now, it's essentially about like a lost romance or something like that, and something you're fighting to get back, pressing the number, trying to call them. But at one point it does say like you're not kind of picking up, so I'm going to you, which I would assume in the video is the part where he goes to the store.
Well, sometimes heartache can equate to doing things you wouldn't normally do. Acting erratic or just like, you know, like I'm reaching a little bit, but it's...
No, they tied it together so beautifully in the end too, because when he's replaying the memory in his head of, you know, robbing the store, the cashier is him. So it's that like he literally is poisoning himself. You're losing a piece of yourself in committing this crime.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
The choreo is low key like elite and shit in here
For sure.
I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm a little smitten by this. Is just that it's things are being done at an elite level, low key, right here for something that could just be a throwaway for some other people. But Keith, how'd you feel about it? This is Mr. Taemin.
I mean, I thought it was definitely a good one. The cinematography of the entire video was just crazy. It almost seemed like there was two stories kind of be told. Watching it the second time, it kind of makes a little bit more sense. You know, the bank robbery and everybody happy about the money, the cops, the shakedown, the money trade, the money for whatever was in the briefcase only to be not what he thought it was. You know what I mean?
Love isn't what you think it is.
Exactly. That's probably the metaphor. No, that's it. It's probably the metaphor. You know, you give so much or you put so much into a relationship and it's not what you thought it was going to be, so you want to just burn it all to the ground. You know what I mean? And I didn't even notice the suit change. Okay.
But he has some looks in here.
Yeah, he definitely had some outfits.
Turtleneck drums.
Had the cheetah skin beret, which was interesting.
It was a look.
Surprisingly, it was. I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
Hated it. Those who know. No, but this was definitely a good one. I thought the song by itself as a standalone song was a good song, very solid. Wasn't a risk as far as the arrangement. Like I didn't hear like the TAEMIN high notes or the runs or whatever, but it was definitely good. It allowed you to listen and not be distracted by the song that you didn't get the story of the video.
You know what? I think I get it. I think I get it inside my head now a little bit. Every time we do listen to solo TAEMIN tracks, not so much my biggest complaint. A lot of things are like kind of Michael Jackson inspired almost. And I mean that like respectfully, like in the best way possible.
But not full mic.
Yeah, but he does all those things at an elite level, and he doesn't. It's not like I don't think he sounds like him. I think like he has his own swag, his own voice, and his own like everything. But sometimes the songs kind of like give that. I think you mentioned "Criminal Move" and all those tracks. I did. They kind of all sound like that.
They could be in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, this sounds safer, but this sounds something that's more just him. And maybe subconsciously in my mind, that's kind of pushing this a little bit more forward.
Trying to give him more of an identity to himself.
Yeah, even though I know TAEMIN is just amazing enough to do whatever the fuck he feels like. He probably can spit on the ground and it's gonna be a hit.
You know what's funny though? It's funny you say that. And then when he was in the car, before he got out of the car, I was thinking, especially with the hoodie and jacket combo, he looked like he was coming off a bad.
Coming off bad?
Yeah. So it's funny.
You ain't bad.
Right. And I was thinking in my head, I was like, you ain't so bad without your boys. But that's what I was thinking in my head, but I didn't say it. But, you know, that's funny. That's funny.
That's hilarious. Yeah. No, that is hilarious because that literally was Mike on, like, Bad and shit. Shout out to Martin Scorsese for directing it, too.
Oh, he did Bad? And I want to talk about Marvel. Okay, anyway, so.
Arguably one of the greatest music videos. Top 40.
So I'm gonna take you to the subway. We're about to beat your ass. 5, 6, 7, 8.
I will argue that with the Bad video has some of the meanest wraparounds I've ever seen in the 80s. Some of those shots and Dolly Johns, the mirror joint where like you in there. That some of that shit was iconic, man. Like so. Yeah, but I feel you. When it comes to Mike, I don't think people have that in their top 5 or 10 videos. But yeah, y'all, in my crazy mind, that's probably why I like this a lot, because it seems a lot more of a TAEMIN-esque track versus something that, like I said, I'm trying to be respectful. I don't want to make those tracks seem like they're just Michael Jackson carbon copy, things, because I think those tracks are unique. But I don't know. I heard this and didn't think of too many other artists. It just felt like it just was a TAEMIN track. So in my sick mind, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add? I know you were in the deep diving.
Yeah. No, I was just doing a little bit more of a deeper dive on some of the lyrics. It definitely seems like it's implicating a lost love or lost romance in that regard. Something that TAEMIN in this situation, the character he's portraying is trying to get back, but the other person doesn't seem to be wanting that or anything. And the whole concept of everything being on the phone call aspect of it. And essentially you're calling them, but they're not answering you. And then at that point in the video, when he basically says, you're not answering me, so I'm going to go to you. And that's when, the robbery happens or whatever. And I suppose that would be more of a metaphor for like, because it is a robbery in a sense. If only you want something and the other person doesn't. So I definitely could see, because you often hear in everyone talking in our comments and everything about every TAEMIN video we have. He's very involved in everything that he does, so he's very meticulous about the details he adds. So I wouldn't be shocked, to say the least, if that was the intent. One of my favorite verses was the second verse, particularly, and one of the lines being, in this long silence using monologues keep increasing, so you're playing on the oxymoron of silence and a monologue, a long speech versus silence, playing on the inner thought. So I thought that was done really well. And also call, but the answers are decreasing, so you're again another kind of flip between silence and volume, I guess, so to speak, with wordplay. But no, everything in this was really cool, and definitely the aspect in the video that stood out to me the most was definitely that kind of, it felt almost Hitchcockian Vertigo aspect, Hitchcockian in that way, with that particular, I'm trying to think of the word to describe it, that like radiant color that was imposed there. It almost felt like Technicolor in like the 70s or something like that, the way it was imposed. But that was actually a flip shot from the what's at the end, the blue rose.
And that's
when he's at the reservoir. Yes,
y'all see his face on the other side as well, like with the prayer.
Exactly.
That shit is beautiful.
But it's funny because with everything being shot like normally, in the sense of it's like normal, color grading and normal locations and everything like that. That's the only part in the video that has the abrupt color change, really. So that's kind of the haunting memory, I would assume. But it's funny because they literally flipped the 180-degree rule where the camera's facing him in that superimposed image, but then it's behind him, it wraps around in the last image, and that's when everything's clear again. So I would assume at least that he kind of, whatever feeling he was going through in the beginning where he was trying to steal that love back, I would assume the 180 wraparound kind of flipping that on its head, and that also being balanced with the shot of him literally being the cashier in the store where he's robbing himself. Kind of that realization is that guilt, the guilt manifesting within you, and only upon that guilt can you kind of realize the truth of everything, I would assume at least. But all in all, like everything that was done in this, I love the choreography. I thought the video was shot incredibly. But musically, what he did on this, the notes and the register and everything that he was in, the kind of calm yet regretful nature of his voice throughout most of the verses. I thought everything, was done really well for sure. And, TAEMIN's a legend.
Keith, anything else you want to add?
No, this is actually a banger.
Yeah, this is getting downloaded.
Banger.
This is getting downloaded. Jump in the comments. Tell us how y'all felt about it. Tell us how you think the lyrics correlated to things that were going on in the music video. Also, tell us what other TAEMIN checks we should jump into. I know Keith probably still got like two or three joints probably to jump back into for TAEMIN. Yeah. I've been trying to chill just because I kind of want to catch a vibe with y'all. But yeah, let us know in the comments, shall we? Love y'all to death. Holla
Love
at y'all.
Take care.